Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles? Which part is better? Let's find out. When Sonic the Hedgehog 3 first came out, it improved on many aspects from its predecessor. The stages were expanded with gimmicks and hidden objects. Sonic obtained the brand new Insta-Shield ability. You could collect not one, but 3 new types of shields for fire, water, and electricity. On top of that, you could now select a fully playable Tails to enjoy the game a different way. While Sonic 2 was a great game in its own right, Sonic 3 was just incredible in how it raised the stakes in not just scope, but gameplay and graphically. Sonic 3 was rushed out and released earlier than the time it actually needed to be fully completed. See, Sonic 3 was always meant to be even bigger, better, and faster with late Genesis era quality of games. Unfortunately, time and manufacturing costs slowed down the initial vision, and the developers at Sega Technical Institute were forced to split the game in half like a baked potato. So what we got in spring of 1994 was only 50% of what we would eventually get for the complete game. Thankfully, the wait wasn't long for the finished project, as later that year, in October of 1994, Sonic and Knuckles would be released, which would feature the famous lock-on technology, and where you would plug Sonic 3 on top of the Knuckles cart in order to play the completed Sonic 3 vision. With this upgrade and solo game as well, it included its own unique stages, bosses, and a fully playable Knuckles, who's even more unique than Tails gameplay-wise. While both halves are meant to be played as one game, the difference between the two are stark, which is why I want to compare and contrast Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles and see which half is a superior one. Let's get started. Wait, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, because that helps me upload more videos and know that you like content like this. Much like my Sonic 2 vs Sonic CD video, I want to tackle the 3 main components of video games: graphics, sound, and gameplay. To start, let's start off with graphics, since that's the first thing you tend to notice about games. In terms of sprite work, both games are very similar, and rightfully so, as again, these are meant to be one game. Sonic 3 has a lot of variety, especially with its changed act structure, where typically each half of the stage looks different. Angel Island starts off lush and green, but quickly becomes a burning jungle, and Ice Cap starts off in the chilly caverns, but by Act 2 you wind up above. But then you have stages that look very similar in both acts, like Hydrocity and Marble Garden. Each stage does have its own unique look and gimmick from one another, like the changing hills of Marble Garden or Launch Base, which is the launch site of Dr. Robotnik's vile Death Egg. I have no idea what Hydrocity is. I think it's supposed to be a dam. Graphically, Sonic 3 has plenty of detail and still lets you absorb the environment with an abundance of different looking zones, much like Sonic 2 did. In Sonic & Knuckles' case, the game also has its own unique zones that differ itself from its first half. Sandopolis is a desert filled with ghost-filled pyramids and ancient obelisks. Lava Reef is an interior of a volcano with a crystalline nugget center. You even actually get to play in a full stage in the Death Egg this time around too. While the changes in location may be a bit more drastic in Knuckles, the variety does feel a bit more, well, just that. Although I do enjoy the more abstract concepts in Sonic 3 like Launch Base and Marble Garden, but in terms of the graphics, Knuckles stages do look more detailed, like when you compare Angel Island to Mushroom Hill. The difference is very noticeable in just how better Mushroom Hill looks. And unlike Sonic CD, the added sprites do not muddy the pixelated waters, which makes for the stages here to look even more alive than Sonic 3's simpler approach. Given the extra time and power Knuckles got to improve itself from the first half, the point for graphics goes to Sonic and Knuckles. Moving on to audio now, because video and audio are the first components to any game. Both games do have similar sound effects and other jingles, so again, we have to look towards the stage music as our prime targets. Sonic 3 has some super catchy songs like Angel Island with its tropical and adventurous sounds with a sense of urgency depicting the jungle being set ablaze. Ice Cap sounds as delicate as it does Cavern Light. Carnival Night sounds like its track came right out of a carnival. It's been speculated on just how much involvement pop superstar Michael Jackson had on composing songs, but from what I gather, his involvement didn't make it very far, as Jackson wasn't particularly pleased with the work he did do. You still get some stings from Moonwalker, like in the mini-boss theme, and also Ice Cap is clearly a rendition of the Jetsons' unreleased song, Hard Times, which did have involvement with Jackson. Still, with what we got for Sonic 3, the music is amazing. I love the final boss theme, character select, Hydro City is great, as well as just about every other track except for Carnival Night, because that stage gives me war flashbacks. So how does Sonic and Knuckles tackle its music? Pretty much the same way. Knuckles also includes nothing but bangers: Mushroom Hill, Sandopolis, Lava Reef, Sky Sanctuary. My god, are there some classics in Sonic 3 and Knuckles entirely. I can't think of a single track that I don't like in this game. The differences between acts I do think are more better than not compared to 3, with different moves and speeds, like going from the intense Lava Reef Act 1 to Act 2 where it's more somber and mysterious, or Mushroom Hill Act 1 with a springy theme to Act 2 where it picks up the pace because Robotnik is up to his old tricks. Both games do a fantastic job giving each stage its own unique feel and soundtrack for both acts, whether it's an arid desert or a launch base. But when you consider the songs that stick throughout Sonic's illustrious history, you think of tracks like Sky Sanctuary, tracks like Hidden Palace, tracks like Flying Battery. Sonic 3 definitely has some classics like Ice Cap, Hydrocity, and Angel Island. However, aside from Ice Cap, I have to say I personally prefer Sonic & Knuckles soundtrack more. Objectively speaking, Sonic 3 does manage to create fitting tunes for let's just say, simple concept zones. Like, imagine a track for a desert stage or a sky stage, and then think of one for a tune for marble ruins or a launch site. You see my point? Despite me preferring the tracks to Knuckles, I have to give credit where credit is due and give the point for audio to Sonic 3 for accomplishing the challenge, creating memorable tracks that still fit more bizarre levels. The final criteria is gameplay, and whoever gets this point will be honored the better half. Much like everything else, both games fundamentally play the same. Sonic runs, Sonic spins, and he insta-shields his way across various gimmicky levels and defeats Robotnik and his evil empire. What Sonic 3 has is a fully playable Tails. You could select him in Sonic 2's Versus mode, but Sonic 3 is where you could play as him, by himself, in the main story with his flying ability completely functional. Sure, you lost the ability to use the insta-shield and shield-specific powers like the Fire Shield Dash, but having the power to fly for a limited time, wherever you want it, is such a fun, new way to experience the game and explore the vast stages, especially for special stage rings. I know that Tails did first become playable in 1993's Sonic Chaos, but the point of this video is to what makes Sonic 3 unique to its singular counterpart. Tails really does give the game a fresh coat of paint, because while Sonic's insta-shield really is a game changer, having the power to fly creates a whole new chunk of fun to be had. When Sonic and Knuckles came out by itself, Tails did not make the cut, and instead was replaced by the titular character, Knuckles, for the main game. Knux was vastly different than both Sonic and Tails. He had a smaller jump, but he could punch through certain walls that the other characters could not pass. He could also glide, with him slowly descending, as well as him being able to cling to walls and scale them. This is a very fun mode of transportation, not that different than Tails, and Knuckles, with his own unique quirks, forces him to take different paths than the other two, creating very unique level design, and makes playing the game with both Sonic and Knuckles a must for the full experience. More so that Sonic has more stages and Knuckles gets his own final boss. Tails is like an easy mode, while Knuckles is like a hard mode, but we're not done yet because we haven't even talked about the level design. Sonic 3 levels up the amount of speed and platforming from Sonic 2, most notably in stages like Hydro City and Ice Cap. This game really did emphasize just how fast Sonic could be while keeping that fun platforming elements in. The stages have fun gimmicks to complement this, such as Marble Gardens changing terrain due to Robotnik's involvement, or the snowboarding section of Ice Cap, or trying to avoid the alarms in Launch Base. But then we have Carnival Night Zone, which simply put, sucks. This circus is the longest stage in both games and is filled with poorly placed springs, spinning bumpers everywhere, and countless other nuisances that impede progress. It really could be a video all on its own for just how much I disdain Carnival Night Zone. It's up there with the half pipe. On the other hand, the game has launch base, which I love. The uniqueness of it, the stealth-like approach, and the overall look and design for this final stage. I love it all, and hell, I even named my Discord after it. We need more launch base love. Sonic & Knuckles definitely takes a different approach to its level philosophy. The stages here are a lot more open, I would say, with more branching paths and secrets galore. The terrain feels more like a biome that Sonic & Knuckles are dropped in, rather than a stage designed for maximum playability. It is still fun to explore these stages, to find special rings and things of the sort, which is something I loved about Sonic Mania, although Mania did it better. That's not to say that makes the zones better, because while I love Sandopolis Act 1, Act 2 is a maze and it's a mess. Flying Battery should not have been the second stage, either due to its bottomless pits or crushing spikes all around. But I do have to mention that Knuckles is definitely tougher than Sonic 3, and that's including both characters in mind. This is most likely due to both games being designed as one, but playing them separately is jarring just how much different the second half feels like, and maybe that was the point, not make the same game but twice as long, but I digress. Sonic & Knuckles definitely has better looking stages with a better sense of immersion, as well as a very fun playstyle with Knuckles. However, it's Sonic 3 that, bar from Carnival Night, has stages that complement gameplay, has an easygoing character in Tails, and a better overall experience, and because of that, the third and last point for gameplay goes to Sonic 3. There you have it, the superior game when pitting the two halves of Sonic 3 and Knuckles is Sonic 3. While Knuckles most certainly looks better visually, Sonic 3 has better music given the uniqueness of its stages, plus better level design more often than not. I understand that certain aspects were moved around, like the placement for Flying Battery, but this video takes in consideration the games as a whole and what we got. The best way to experience the game is not them separately, rather in its complete form, whether it's the OG Genesis lock-on version, or Sonic 3 Air, or Sonic 3 Complete, because Sonic 3 and Knuckles really is great and a classic, and one of Sonic's best games, and still worth playing to this day. So let me know what you think about this video. Is there other Sonic Versus kind of videos you want me to do, or just things like this in general? Let me know in the comments below, and feel free to like and share this video if you want to see more stuff like it, as well as subscribing so I know that you want to see more stuff like this. And obviously I have other social media, like my Discord, which is the launch base. I'll link that below. My Twitter at JanjoZone. You can go there and talk to me about pretty much whatever. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, because that's the best way to support me, is on that, or to buy my merch to help me out monetary wise, so I can hopefully do this full time one day, but we'll have to see about that. So of course, again, I hope you all enjoy this video. Thanks for watching, and until then, have a wonderful day.